Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you the most valuable thing you could possibly do with your farm here in Stardew Valley. And interestingly enough, it all starts with starfruit, which grows in summer. The good news is, as long as you have access to the desert, you can just buy starfruit seeds, you don't have to multiply them or do anything crazy to get them. The bad news is they cost 400 gold each, so to get the 3400 or so you're going to need, it's going to cost you about 1.36 million gold. But Sandy's not complaining because you're her only customer. We use starfruit to do this because starfruit has the second highest base value in the game, and you can still turn it into wine and other things. Now obviously we have to plant these all. I'm going to use bombs to do this because I can, and I'm lazy and short on time. I think the shadows of the clouds are a brand new feature. I don't think I've ever seen those before. This might have come with the very newest update. Anyways, now that I've hoe-bombed my field, time to start planting. I'm probably not going to have enough time today, so I'm going to use some mods to turn back the clock because I don't want to lose all my hoe progress. The seeds are all down. Turns out there was just over 3,400 of them by my math, and I even took the liberty of going up into all the really narrow places like that to get as many as I possibly could, which brings me to my next point. You might notice there's no sprinklers out here. That's because I wanted as many of these as I could possibly get on the ground. Now, normally I would just use rain totems for the next 13 days until these are all mature. I don't really have time for that, so I'm going to just use the mods to water these things every day for the next few days, but you could still totally do this legitimately. Just use rain totems, or water it every day if you're feeling that ambitious. Also, as many people point out, there's no scarecrows out here. Well, that's kind of a debatable subject, but I always think that when I have a field absolutely full of crops like I do, the scarecrows actually take up more spaces than what the crows would eat themselves over the next 13 days. The 14th of summer, all the starfruit are ready to go, so first things first, gotta pick all these. The total number I was left with, 3,407 starfruit. There's a breakdown of the quality. I should have also mentioned it's not worth fertilizing these because the next step renders all their quality useless anyway. You could use speed grow if you want. Again, you're probably just spending money you don't need to spend and therefore eating up some of your profit. Next, we're going to need a whole lot of kegs to turn each and every one of those starfruit into starfruit wine. The number of kegs necessary is simply a matter of preference because it takes a week to turn a single starfruit into wine. So the more kegs you have, the faster this whole process is going to go, but you could do it with only one if you feel like taking a long time to do it. Now once your wine is all complete, it's time for the next boring part of this amazing process. We now need to age each and every one of these wines in casks in the basement, and each one of these is going to take 56 days to get to its iridium quality, so it's going to take a long time because we can only fit, I think, 117 casks in our basement. Now it's just a matter of everyone's favorite game, the waiting game. After a long time, these are finally all ready to go, so we can finally see what all this effort is actually worth. So we have 3,407 iridium quality starfruit wine. Into the bin they go. And those poor kids should get a better inheritance because of this, but then again, they're not going to last that long. So, year 77, the total profit is shaking because it's too big. Here's the breakdown. If we add these all up, we're looking at about 21.5 million gold for essentially a single harvest. Obviously, it takes a ridiculously long time to do this, so it's not actually worth the effort. You're far better off doing a bunch of smaller crops that are worth $1 million in that neighborhood. I should probably also mention as well, I do have the farming level 10 artisan perk. That means my artisan goods are worth 40% more, so keep that in mind. If you don't have that, if you have the other perk or not a skill of level 10, you'll be left with 12.8 million gold instead of the 21.5. Still a lot of money obviously, but definitely not worth the effort. Anyways, I just thought it would be fun to see how much value you actually can get out of a single harvest, and that is about the most valuable single thing you can do in this entire game. And if you haven't seen my videos before, check out my channel. There's a whole bunch of other videos in there about all sorts of stuff just like this, and I put out new videos like this all the time, so stay tuned for those. And exciting news, I'm going to be joining ThatDenverGuy on his live stream next Saturday at 8 PM Eastern Time. That's 5 PM Pacific Time for those of you that don't know how to use Google. Anyways, hope you like this one. Thank you all for watching.